Tennessee or North Carolina or Kentucky or one of those other states. And as far as the updates, we've been a little disheveled the last couple of weeks because we've entered rehearsals. I just finished a rehearsal about 15 minutes ago for Freddy versus Jason Dreamscape with the person playing Stephanie, AJ Langlois. Well, Cody, you had rehearsals last week, which is kind of why we just didn't have the show happen, which we kind of talked about that was going to be the thing. We want to come to you every week, but we've moved it around to kind of adapt to the schedules when we have time to do it. Unfortunately, now we've built in the time to do it, and it's when we're doing the show. So it's either do we rehearse or do we have the show? We try to do both tonight, and we managed to pull it together by having a fantastic guest who, of the horror conventions I've been to, and I've been to a couple of them, this one was my favorite, and I'm not just saying that because the organizer can hear me right now. But yeah, F you, Mad Monster. I want to bring on Cody. You want to do the introduction? Go.
Yes. Let's bring on Jennifer Johnsey from CreepyCon. I did pronounce your last name right, didn't I?
You did great. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's an old broadcast trick. When you don't know how to say someone's last name, make someone else say it. Jennifer, you're the organizer of CreepyCon, and you guys are probably in peak mode, getting ready. It's only a couple of weeks away, a little more than 2 weeks.
You had to remind me. Yes. Yes, I am one of a trio that own CreepyCon. We work together, and my gosh, if I had to do it by myself, I would go crazy. But yeah, it's coming up in just a couple of weeks. I can't believe it. You think about it, and you work all year long, and then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, your show's in 2.5 weeks. You're like, crap. So
there should still be more time. What the hell happened?
I know. Yeah. There's never enough time, but we have a good crew, and we're ready. We have such an incredible show lined up this year. I'm really proud of it.
And part of the thing that really makes stand out about CreepyCon is the performances. You're going and you're going and you're going. That stage, when that stage gets moving, you just have a lot of great things that you're not going to see anywhere else. It's really, of all the conventions, I think the most fan-centric convention that there's out there. You know, it's just is for the fans. It is all about the fans, and that's 2 stories of goodness.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, the entertainment is important.
It's nonstop all weekend. It's just nonstop. It don't stop. There's stage shows going on the whole time, almost. You know, it's a really good time for everybody in the family, kids, grown-ups. I see all kinds of little kids dressed up, grown-ups, elderly people. It's just such a good show for the whole family.
Thank you. Yeah, the entertainment's really important to us. We wanted to do something that was unique, and we all have haunted attraction background and stuff. So we kind of come from the entertainment side of Halloween and horror. And, so that's always been first and foremost for us, the entertainment. And then we try to sprinkle in little fun things here and there too. So there's so much going on. And the best of it is that everything's included with your ticket. You don't have to pay this much for that and this much for that. Yeah. And that, everything is included. So.
No, that was really one of the things that spoke to me about it. It is not about waiting in line for an hour to drop $80 for someone who was in a movie you might have liked back in the day. It's people, living in it. You have costumes walking around, really great costume actors, working the crowd, moving around the Knoxville Convention Center. But then the vendors too, because it is not one of those typical, hey, here's a couple of celebrities, we're going to add $50 more to your ticket prices. The vendors are really engaged, and they're working it, talking to people. It's just it feels more like when we say a horror convention, people kind of get an idea of this is really a bunch of people that are fans of horror coming together for a conference, and there are other things happening. I love the vibe of it.
It's like a big reunion too. People come at year to year to see people that they don't get to see, but only at CreepyCon, and that's really endearing, and it makes it that much more fun. Yeah.
And you mentioned having a haunt background. How did you get into coming to be one of the trinity of the head of CreepyCon?
Well, I mean, I know I don't look it, but my dark side it's in there. So I actually worked for the Haunted Cave years and years ago, and I always loved Halloween. Started with the JC's Haunted House, and I was an actor the first couple of years, and then I realized I'm really not a good actor. And I really liked the production side, the organization side of things. And so I was a caver, and then somebody said, "Oh, there's a haunted cave," and I was like, "Shut the front door! Are you kidding me?" So, I mean, it was like the best of both worlds collided. And so I worked for the Haunted Cave, and I was a guide through there, and then eventually ended up designing and decorating and theming the whole thing, and just really got the event planning bug starting there. And then worked for Frightworks for years and years, helping sell tickets at Frightworks and things like that, and just made a lot of good friends. In fact, my business partners, Bradley and Deanna, both work for Frightworks. And so we get to kind of do that part of it, but then we get to put this incredible party together once a year to celebrate all of the things that we love under one roof in 3 days. So.
No, it's a great setup. Now, try to unpack that last sentence. You were a caver, and then you found out about a haunted cave?
Yeah.
How does one become a caver?
Well, so you have your splunkers, right? The splunkers go in with a 6-pack of beer and a flashlight, and generally end up getting rescued by cavers.
Oh.
All about safety. Now, obviously, I don't cave anymore, but when I was younger, yeah, I was all about it. Just, you just see a dark hole. Let's go in it, and let's see what's in there, what adventure awaits. And so I had all the gear. And, it was funny, the first time I went caving, I had on a pink t-shirt and like jeans. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I went with some other friends, and they just slapped a helmet on my head and said, "All right, let's go." And I came out, and just covered in mud, and I was like, "This is awesome." So Cherokee Caverns is where the Haunted Cave ran for years and years and years, and for 20 years to be exact. And then we got too old for it. It's a hard business running a haunted attraction. So now they do trick or treat in the cave. It's a family event. You can go and enjoy the cave. Instead of it being dark, it's all lit up. And so that's a side project. I volunteer for that as well.
Well, I think it's a great time of year to do it, especially, a lot of the people in haunts start getting tied up in September, October.
Mm-hmm.
You have it right at the tail end of August, but it's also a great place to go and get the final touches on a Halloween costume. For you have the people that are way into it that are going to drop a ton of money, but you can also pick up stuff just for Halloween that is not going to break the bank.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of costume and special effects. I mean, there's so many things in there. A lot of people do come and get their inspiration from CreepyCon, and then they can purchase all their pieces and take classes to learn how to do some special effects and things like that. And so many people asked, they said, "Why are you doing this in August? Why? Doesn't make any sense." Well, it does. Do you feel it? August 1st. What do we start thinking about? Right? Yeah. Fall, Halloween. It's perfect timing. Plus, if we tried to do it in September or October, we wouldn't have the vendors. We wouldn't have the haunted attractions. They're all busy. They can't do it.
Yep.
So why not have a little fun before the stress begins? So.
Yeah. It's the kickstart the Halloween season's CreepyCon.
Yeah. It's perfectly placed.
Yeah.
And we do have we do have the chats up. If you want to talk, we're on YouTube and the Facebook page. Kai, hello, Kai. And yes, again, hello, Kai.
Hello.
Kai would say hello. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything for Jennifer, we're welcome to hear it. But the big thing is, are tickets still available, and where do you get tickets?
Yeah, so the tickets, we moved to the Knoxville Convention Center this year. We were at the Jacob Building for the last 3, as we went through the process of growing the show, and we maxed it out last year. I know Yeah, it was wild. And so we,
Yeah.
Brad and Deanna, and we looked at each other and we're going to have to move, up to the convention center. So we're there. So we have a lot of room to spread out, and I can't wait to take over that entire building, but that will come in time. So you get your tickets online, creepycon.com, and it's if you get them in advance, it's $25 for the day, and then $45 for the whole weekend. Sorry, my computer went to sleep. I don't know if you. There we go. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're good. We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, my computer's like, it's 10:15. Go to bed. Yeah. So let me make sure I'm giving these prices correctly. I want to make sure. Yeah, the 25 in advance, and then that's the day rate, and then the 45 is the 3-day rate, and that's in advance. So at the door, it goes up to 30 and 50, and then our kids passes are $5 each. And then VIP, we still have some VIP passes available. Those are $150. Oh my gosh, there is over $500 in value in that. There's so much cool stuff. And at the convention center, they have this whole VIP overlook lounge where you can go and you can look out over the show floor. That's where I would be if I was not working and running my tail off. I would be in the VIP lounge.
Absolutely, yeah.
Those always go fast. So everything is at creepycon.com.
Gotcha. Just scrolling through the
Oh, yeah.
site now. But yeah, 25th, 27th. Yeah, I thought it was cool where it was last year.
Mhm.
I'd never been there before. It was definitely a vibe to it, but I'm glad to hear there's a more room, because it was you maximize the floor space, well, the 2-floor space.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a unique building too. We'll miss it. We really loved doing it there. We loved the free parking, easy to access, stuff like that. But it got very hot in that building, and the Wi-Fi, was a little tricky. It's an old metal, or like a bunker,
Yeah.
So.
It did get hot in that building. That's coming from somebody that's dressed in layers of latex and rubber, and it did get really hot.
Cody, I usually see you in costume, Cody, so it's kind of weird to see your face.
I know. The whole time you see me with a mask on.
Yeah, why aren't you holding a knife right now, man? Come on.
I left it in the bedroom. Don't have it in here.
That's where you keep your knives. So, Cody, talk a little bit about your experience getting to I think you said it was like your 6th or 7th year CreepyCon and being there. So how have you been involved in it in the past?
Okay.
Well, Cody, sorry. Go ahead, Cody.
Actually, I've been going to CreepyCon because of Jennifer. I met a friend of mine who he's a regular at CreepyCon. He goes and does cosplay there. His name is Jason Palmer, aka Biggs the Clown. And he's a good friend of mine, and somehow Jennifer seen my cosplay, and she got to him to get in touch with her, I mean, and I did, and she said, "I love your cosplay. Can you come out and be just a cosplayer for me?" I said, "I'd love to." So that started in 2017, and that was my first year ever going, and that was my first year getting really serious about cosplaying too. Then ever since then, except for 2020, I've been going, because 2020 nobody went because COVID.
Yeah.
So it would have made my 7th year if 2020 would have happened, but this makes my 6th year, and I love it every time they y'all put on such a good show, and I just like you talked about meeting the old friends and stuff. I see Chris Bell, I'm friends with him, and I see all these other people I only really see at CreepyCon. So it is it's a good reunion to have each year, and I'm looking forward to it.
The thing about CreepyCon that we always say, and we have some other shows that we put on, our company is called Right Frame Productions, and CreepyCon is the most fun event, and everybody is just really genuinely happy to be there. Everybody's in a great mood, and it's great. This is one of the easier, like more fun. We also do Chocolate Fest, and that's a great show too, but people are grouchy when they don't get as much chocolate as they feel like they should. And we're like, golly, CreepyCon people are really nice.
It is a multiple choice question you might not get right. Who's more grouchy, the axe murderers or the chocolatiers?
Oh yeah, I know. It's a very interesting dynamic. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to a convention for some reason, you're on the fence. If you got this far into the show, go. Knoxville from Raleigh is about 5.5 hours making the trip. I want to say hey to Paul Nada. Good evening to you, buddy. But it is fun. And then as an outsider, this is probably one of those groany things to say, but so Kane is the mayor of Knoxville. And he, what the Beast Incarnate, I forget what his monikers were as he wrestled. Is he a fan of CreepyCon? Is anything nodded, mentioned, or is it like two different orbits and he's very busy being the mayor and he's not a wrestler anymore?
We have invited him in the past. It's been a few years since we tried again. He is such a great guy. And I think if we asked him, he would, but he's been so busy. We just haven't asked him again. But if he ever wanted to come, he'd be more than welcome.
Because I could see how you could light the torch to open it pretty easy. You just need like $300 of pyro.
Mm-hmm.
Be a great callback.
Hey, we are adding fog this year.
Oh,
and you mentioned Chris Bell, who a lot of times when you say the master of ceremonies, it's the guy holding the microphone. But man, he runs a good show. This is a picture of him right here, and he's been at it for a couple of years now, Chris.
I'll tell you real quick, Chris. So our very first year of CreepyCon, Chris was with his fiance Ashley as a vendor, and he remembers this better than I do. I'm old and my memory's terrible, but he says he asked me if he could be the MC, and I don't remember how we came to it, but it was like, yeah, sure. He blew the roof off that place his very first year, and he still does, and he's such an amazing, talented guy, and we are really, really lucky to have him. And every year he gets better and better, and he surprises us with different skits and things. And he's going to do his Creature Corner show live from CreepyCon this year, so that'll be really fun. And just a good dude, really good dude. Yeah.
He's very talented. He blows me away each year how just good he is, and he can just get up in front of a crowd and just do, and everything just comes, just to him. Just I couldn't do it. I couldn't do what he does.
And it's 3 days of high energy.
Bill could probably do it. I couldn't.
I can do it at a table. I can't do it for a show.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses.
Like people walk by, I can say something funny, or I can choose not to say anything. When you're on stage, you got nowhere to hide
in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. There's a lot going on. I'm sitting here kind of still working on some graphics for some of the shows that we haven't even announced yet. And Gertrude's Creatures of the Night is going to be back. And then we've got the aerial artists flying around, and the Lyra and Finnegan's, Dr. Finnegan's Circus. He's coming back this year, sideshow kind of specialty. And of course, the zombie beauty pageant and
gotta have that.
That's so much fun. But we're adding one this year, and I'm really trying hard to get this thing off the ground. It's called Killer Talent, and it's like a talent show. There's so many talented people out there, and not always a platform that's right for whatever particular talent you have. Well, pretty much anything goes at CreepyCon. We're definitely accepting of just about anything as long as nobody gets hurt. So we're trying to get the Killer Talent off the ground this year, and we're still taking entries for that. So, I mean, it really could be anything. If you sing, if you dance, if you juggle bowling balls, I mean, I don't know, just whatever you want to do, we want you to enter. Mm-hmm.
Cody, did anything pop up in your head when you were thinking about talents to show on stage? Like, did anything flash up?
I can perform as Jason.
Yes, you could.
Somebody, give me a sleeping bag and a dummy in it, and I'll sling it.
Yeah. What if we got like a gong or some sort of musical instrument, and then you could play, the instrument with the sleeping bag? I saw Joe. Look, it's based in fact. I saw Joe Perry from Aerosmith wedge a pick in the guitar spokes, put the guitar on the ground, and then whip it with his shirt that he took off. He was on stage. It was Aerosmith show, and he played the guitar by whipping it with his shirt. I think you could do it with a sleeve.
Do it with a sleep. Yeah.
Just see
We'll
what
save.
maybe it'll make some noise. Who knows?
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing like one of those misdirections where it's like you start like, oh hey, I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to hit a really high note, and then like I go to sing, and nothing happens, and then like blood shoots out my ears or something. Yeah, you know.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, we got things rolling around, but yeah, it's a cool setup. But talent shows are sort of the things, and it's not, you know, the convention. I think the last convention we were at, they had a stage. It was kind of off to the side, and it was dead for, you know, long enough. CreepyCon, the stage is more or less always got something going or about to have something going. Some of the things we're doing there, we've got Clarence, who's playing Freddy Krueger, and Cody, who's playing Jason, and we're all staying at Cody's house, or Cody's brother's house. So hopefully they don't get in fights and there's property damage. But they'll be appearing at the show. Maybe that, you know, hindsight, maybe that's not the best idea to have you guys under one roof with that budding feud going. But so we'll be appearing there as well for the whole weekend. And Freddy Krueger, who this is like second marriage by birth once removed. Freddy Krueger and Freddy vs. Jason Dreamscape is also the director of The Grind, which stars Cody Huskins as Leatherface, as well as Brett Wagner and Terrence Stockton, who plays Nubbins the Hitchhiker. And we're seeing what we can do about maybe getting Terrence as Nubbins there. So we'll have a lot of the people, the stars of the movies from Freddy vs. Jason Dreamscape and The Grind, a Texas Chainsaw fan film, all together under one roof. So it should be a really, really fun time.
Can't wait. I'll get to meet you in person this time.
Well, Bill was there last year.
No, I was the annoying one. But yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I run so much that whole weekend,
Yeah,
and
you can't. It's hard to catch you. That's for sure.
I always feel bad because I feel like people think I'm, you know, avoiding them, but I'm not. I'm literally like putting out fires all weekend, or answering questions, or going to get this or that or the other. So it's just wild.
It's kind of got the same vibe as like your wedding day. Like you blink, everything's happened. Oh man, it was the cake good at least, but you know, you're pretty much just putting out little fires, or taking a break from putting out little fires once those things get up and running.
Yeah, a lot happens when there's a lot of people in one space. So, hey, I was going to tell you too, you know, this year, and Cody, you know about this, the haunted attractions, we have we have a haunted attraction, like a walkthrough haunted attraction. There's a shooting game kind of thing. That's one of the vendors is doing. And then there's a fear experience that is like a sensory experience that's going to happen there. So those are some additions this year, because we really want to do it. It's tricky when you're in an indoor venue. There's a lot of rules to follow, and dark, creepy spaces, and you know, you can't truly make it as scary as you want. But Mo and Ella Mullis, they are at the head of that, and they are two of the most talented people that I've ever met. And so they're putting this thing together, and it's going to be great.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. You're actually kind of set right near them, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a chance last year to we had a friend, Chainsaw Mike, who we met, and then we took his booth over at the CreepyCon for Aberdeen Fear Factory here in North Carolina. We went down to just check it out and everything. We tried to pay. He wouldn't take our money. And then I found out afterwards, he put us to work for like 2 hours, but we got to be in that, the way they had it set up, you walk in and you're blindfolded, and it's pitch black, dark, and you have to like lean on the people in front of you. And all my instructions were mess with them. so I can see fine. I'm just watching people like hold together, like, what's that noise? What's that noise? And I'm like, hey, how you doing? and just any little noise, or the worst was I had a little stick, just a regular branch, and I would just kind of put it in front of where their face would walk into, and seeing them like spider web all over the place once a little thing. It was pretty easy to push people around, but it was. He said he figured I'd be in there for 15 minutes, and I went through my break, which I didn't get because I wasn't an employee. I was just doing it for fun. that was a blast to do that, and definitely the thing about horror people is they like being scared, but as you go more and more, it gets harder to scare you. So when you see like one of those grizzled horror veterans like get scared for a moment and then just like, thank you so much, man, those are the moments you're going for. And it's great to have that sort of atmosphere going.
It really is. I know I've been through so many haunted attractions and so many different things. And, like somebody will come after me with a chainsaw or whatever. And I'm just like, just go get the person in front of me that's screaming. You will not get emotion out of me. I'm sorry, but it's very hard to scare me. So when something does get me, I remember it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was great. Thank you. Yeah. But I'm not a scarer. I'm not a good scarer. I have a scary in my brain, and I put things. But if I had to haunt someone, I would probably be like, "Boo! I'm sorry. Did I scare you? I'm so sorry." I'm a nice person, I guess.
Yeah, just let the stuff on the inside of your head come out a little bit. Oh man, you'll scare them.
Yeah,
you'll scare them great.
Well, I don't know. When I get mad, it takes a whole lot to get me mad, but I've been mad a few times at CreepyCon where somebody's done something that's just like, really? Like if you ask me where the convention center is, I'm probably going to slap you. Go online, creepycon.com. I do not have time to give you directions.
It's on your phone. Type it into your phone.
Yeah.
Voila.
Yeah. Look, it's 2023. Catch up.
Here's your map quest, asshole.
Yeah. We remember, don't we? Yeah.
Look, I thought it was a sign of great wealth that people that had the MapQuest directions printed out in color on their front seat. That was what?
How did we do it?
What the hell are you driving?
Driving, going. I don't know how we did it.
They left an 0.8 of a mile. Well, I guess we paid attention more too, though.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
So the name CreepyCon, it's got a cool name.
Thanks.
Was that? Well, do you remember the other name it almost was when you were coming up with a name, or did CreepyCon just hit early, and that was the one? Where did that come from?
Well, I come up with names of things in the weirdest scenario. Like I'll be brushing my teeth or something. It'll be, and I think with this one, my son was really young at the time. And I think I didn't sleep much. So it was like in the middle of the night. And I was like, I really want to do a Halloween and horror convention. And then kind of CreepyCon came out. So I got up, went to the computer, looked to see if the domain name was taking. So I was like, surely somebody's already got this. There is a CreepyCon, but it's in some foreign land. It's not in the United States. It's like Czech Republic or something. So I was like, okay, we're good there. We're safe. So I went ahead and I got everything that I needed and moved forward with it. Well, I presented it to some other people in the haunted attraction industry, and it was crickets. People didn't seem to be interested in it, didn't understand it, whatever. So I let it sit for about 2 years, and then it just kept gnawing at me. I just knew that this is something that I needed to try. And I was like, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And so it was one night. The very first year was one night on a Friday night. And I remember I put the event on Facebook, and it had like 500 likes in 24 hours, which, social media, that 7 years ago, it was a far different story, than it is now. But it was like, well, okay, maybe there's something here. It'll be okay. And it's a risk when you rent an expensive venue and you do all of this, and you're really putting yourself and your financial health on the line when you put on a show like this. And so we did it. And I think we had like 2,000 people come. that first year, and I was like, okay, all right, we can do this. So it went from there, and we had Bradley and Deanna. We were not business partners at the time, but we all worked together, and then we had a really great dedicated team that just kind of stuck it out as we grew and grew and grew. So yeah, there we go. It's something I did that didn't fail, which is wonderful. Several failures, but this is a win, and it's stressful, and it takes like a week to recover, but it is one of the most worthwhile things I have ever done besides having a kid.
Well, it's probably CreepyCon probably has the most attendance in any con I ever went to.
Oh yeah,
I mean, because it's just you got 2 floors of vendors, and you got both floors is full of people. Can't move hardly, especially on a Saturday. That's the busiest day. I mean, parking is ridiculous.
I know what you mean. There's like peak Saturday at some conventions, and then you have like the Sunday. But no, I think once it gets going, like early in the day, it's like who's hungover enough to get there on time.
Yeah.
But once people show up, it just stays packed.
Yeah. And with the convention center too, that'll give us a lot more room to move and breathe, and all the vendors, everybody's on one floor, which will make them happy.
Okay.
We have to consider, there's a lot to consider when you're doing this, and I do the floor plan. We have to make our vendors happy. Our vendors are very, very important to the whole process. And so we have to make sure they're happy. We take really good care of them. And then we want to make sure the guests are happy. And then the venue has to be happy. And we have to be happy. So there's a lot to consider.
Someone said we're amazing. Thank you, Facebook user.
Yeah.
Thanks. Not my mom. I checked.
That's so nice.
Real people. Jennifer, we don't want to forget to mention anything, but I think we kind of covered everything. Is there anything we didn't ask about or you want to bring up or anything?
The Michael Jackson group's going to be there.
Yeah, K-Town Zombies, Greg Carney and his group, they're so great.
That's one of my favorite performances out of the whole weekend right there.
It's just nostalgic.
I'm glued to the stage because I grew up watching Thriller, and they do an amazing job with it. It's just that they're spot on with it.
Yeah, they really are, and I can't imagine a CreepyCon without them. I do want to mention real quick, we do have a lot of after things going on this year. Of course, we have the after party to Concourse. That's going to be the Saturday night at Temple, and there's Crypt Tease. There's a burlesque show, and then Unity Suspension. The Flesh Hook Suspension people will be there again this year. Yeah, they're going to be performing on the main stage this year too. So everyone will get exposed to the Flesh Hook Suspension. That is really something. But we have movies at Central Cinema. They're going to be showing Spookies Friday night. And What We Do in the Shadows Thursday night. Johnny Bruff is coming from that movie, which will be great. And then Cherokee Caverns is showing 13 Ghosts. We have Herb Duncanson coming in. He played the hammer.
That's cool.
I know. So we've got a few. Instead of trying to bring in like a whole bunch of celebrities, we can't do it. We can't afford it. And quite frankly, that is more stress than I ever want to deal with in my entire life. Just dealing with a few is hard enough. And not that they're hard to deal with. It's just a lot of details. And you want to take care of them and, make sure they're happy and they have a great time and feed them and water them and all those things. And
it's a lot of variables, And it's also something that I think that it happens to a lot of cons it is a lot to consider, but it sort of becomes the intention is making sure everything's good on that end. And that's where you can lose sight of where the other things are, which, the fan experience, the vendors, the floor layout, those sort of things. So it's a pendulum, but I think you play it right.
I think, a few key people are great, then everybody's not standing in line for hours, spending all their money there. We want people to have a little bit of everything, but I can't tell you when I first started how many people, you gotta have celebrities. You gotta have celebrities. I'm like, why? Everybody else does that. Why do I have to do that? I don't have to do that. And I've had to hold my ground on that and just really understand that we really hand pick who comes in. It's not just anyone. There are reasons that they are selected. You may not know who someone is, but we picked them because they're an amazing comic book author and their art is amazing, or they're an independent filmmaker, or they're like a Johnny Bruff. I mean, it could be this to little to big, but they're all equally important and picked for a reason. So.
Yeah, they're the greatest Jason cosplayer in the world today. Yeah. Happen to live in Eastern Texas. Yeah, all sorts of reasons to see people.
Yeah.
Do they know that you're going to be helping in the Scream Queen contest this year? Have you announced that? Good.
I've not publicly
you announced it to me.
I announced it to Bill, and Clarence. I haven't heard back from Clarence yet if he's going to be in it with me. But okay. But I'm just waiting on his reply. He's a busy man.
I'm sure he's down for whatever. Especially you put the knives on him.
Yeah. Then he can be Freddy. Oh, there he is. He's here. Oh,
he's on the chats.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Confirmation. I will. Facebook user saying I will.
I'm assuming
confirmation. Clarence will be there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It could be. It could not be.
He can do his Freddy. He can be as Freddy on stage in front of hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be fun.
He'll have some fun with that too. But well, Jennifer, appreciate you so much for joining us. We'll be there at CreepyCon just a little over 2 weeks. Get some rest when you can.
Thank you. September.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll sleep in September.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. This was really fun.
Oh, we enjoyed it. Thank you so much. We'll be talking more about CreepyCon as we get closer. Yeah.
All right.
But I think. Thank you so much. We'll chat with you later.
All right. Thank you.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she is. She's the reason why I found out about CreepyCon.
And no joke. I mean, okay, she's off now. We can really talk about her. It's a fun time. Like I remember the first convention I went to in like 2005 in Baltimore. George Romero was there. Some no-name named Greg Nicotero was there. Tom Savini was on like the second floor next to the vendors. I think John Russo was by Tom Savini. So a lot of like my guys. But what really pulls it in is those moments of, you're not weird. I think the internet has done that a lot faster, but as a pre-internet type of person, slightly. When I was a kid, it was, talking about blood effects or something with random people not in the chat room. And it's like, oh, what's wrong with you, you weirdo? I'm like, what? No, just wouldn't it be cool to see? You're disturbed. But then you see, you go to the places and I'm like, just meeting the people that are also into horror movies and that you're not weird. And I think CreepyCon is like a great lightning rod of that, especially with the stage shows, because you have people doing the things, people that are into the things, seeing them do the things, and then afterwards you can talk to them about it. I mean, it's really a true word of convention. It is not the autograph centric sort of thing, because I mean that's with conventions. I think a lot of them have become people just scroll through, see who the people are.
Yeah.
Oh well, they got a little there's too much Hellraiser. There's not enough, Nightmare on Elm Street. Or there's not enough Halloween. There's too much Friday the 13th, or the Dawn of the Deads or Night of the Living Deads. All the different random reunions they've done. Aliens. But when you get down to it, then it gets this vibe where you got to keep the line moving. You've been waiting a long time to speak to this person you really want to talk to. You have 40 seconds maybe before you start getting, okay, come on, you got to keep it going. You're shelling out a good amount of money, and it's not necessarily, it's like a manufactured moment, when you're paying for the autograph. And this is it's walking a tightrope, because that money can go to a lot of good things, and it's a way for a lot of people that might have been screwed in the past on movies and the hard work that they did to make some income from them. We're totally good with that. It's just the mechanism of it. There's conventions in Europe where there'll be 3 people on the stage, and you go and you have your moment, your group, and they talk to you as a group, and they write all the stuff on. So it's not like the one-on-one thing, but it makes people wait. There's a lot of other ways to do it, what CreepyCon has done is basically say we're going to make it about the experience. You're going to see cool stuff. You're gonna meet cool people, but we're not going to, say, hey, we're going to bring this person, and we need an army of volunteers to be able to drive these people here and there, and oh, by the way, tickets are $75 for Saturday and $200 for No, it just prices it. That's what you give up when you're trying to do that much with that many celebrities. I mean, there's a give and take. And if you don't have a crap ton of people paying a little bit more money than they normally would for other conventions, it's not going to work. The CreepyCon model has been, let's keep the prices good. Let's put on a good show. Let's not worry about, which slasher from the 80s or 90s is going to show up. Oh, you played Ghostface in Scream 3? That's not worth, $50 for a ticket. So,
yeah.
I don't know who played Ghostface in Scream
3. The stage shows are really, a lot of that brings people in. And you could look on YouTube in the past of how good their stage shows are, and they get better and better each year. So when people come, it's just like they're glued, can't wait for the next performance, whoever it is.
Scott Foley. Roman Bridger was, that's my ADHD. Well, to kind of wrap up, if you missed the top of the show before we got Jennifer Jonesy on, rehearsals a little last week with a cast member we have not announced yet. And then this week we had more rehearsals with AJ Langley's, who is playing Stephanie in the film. We got some more exciting stuff coming up, but just so you know, if we're not doing the show as much or as social media, then we'll have other things going. But we're really excited because CreepyCon, when you have a director in North Carolina, a Freddy in South Carolina, and a Jason in Tennessee, when you have CreepyCon, it's a time where all parties can be in the same place.
That's the triangle. Think about the triangle.
The inland Bermuda Triangle that we have. But so to get some of that work in, and then to start, getting things kicking into high gear. Part of it is we don't, and the reason why, if you feel it's going slower than you'd like, that's fine. We inherited this picture after 3 or 4 years. There have been a lot of spots where people said things are going and then they didn't, or any of that. We've been going low and slow and methodical to make sure it's done. Mm-hmm. And it's done in a way that is impressive. And just based on doing a rehearsal with someone who's been a friend of mine for a couple of years before coming on to the movie side of it, breaking down how she's saying a line that it might have been a throwaway line or something, or it's there to make sure that we're nailing every part of it. I mean, that's what we're going for. Of course, this is all bullshit I can say now, and then we make a terrible movie and I'm like, well, we tried our best, we're new. But no, it's going to pop. It's going to pop. And one thing we're not going to do is bullshit people. So we're here pretty much every week, keeping you updated and all the things. If we'll be shooting out more emails in the coming weeks. We do need pictures for some of the people who did perks for the missing photos. Need some of those in there. And then we've got some casting announcements. We alluded to one, but I think we got 4 more people casted and we haven't announced yet. So we'll get moving on that too. We've got some ground to cover, but a lot of it has been with production and more ramping up. I mean, Cody's coordinating scenes. I'm going to yard sales, buying boom boxes and looking for stand cans that fit. We're doing a lot of stuff.
Scheduling rehearsal days and trying to get 2 or 3 people together. It needs to be in a scene together. Working around scheduling. Everybody works usually a 9 to 5, 40-hour a week job. But just trying to make scheduling important.
Yeah, and I think once you step out of trying to line up something where it's not everyone is working 9 to 5, it gets hard. But when we have one person's on 12-hour shifts, one person's working night, day, it varies, and you have all that going around. Basically, it lines up to we know we have about 2-3 hours free on Wednesday, so Wednesdays could be a bigger week. Cody, I think I accidentally messed up a couple weeks ago and got way too proactive and already made the birthday graphics for this week. Yep, I did. And I want to show the one from today as we bring you up to date on all the horror that is happening next week, this week. It's this day next week in horror, but for right now, we're starting Robert Shaw celebrating a birthday up in Fish Heaven.
The man who played Quentin.
Yeah, the Queen right there lounging out with, here's something, dark thought I just thought of. You think if, heaven works how it might work if you think Quint was an actual guy and when he got eaten, he went to ocean heaven because, Jaws ate him. You think he would have been around when that submarine exploded?
I don't know, maybe.
Like Amity Island, it's not too far away. Oh, what's going on over here? Ghost Queen flying underwater.
That scene, it's a gruesome scene, but the same way, it's kind of funny at the same time. Jaws, he's just chomping away, like chomp, 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 and Quentin's trying to kick it in the face and everything.
You hear that, and that's why I pulled this picture for this one because there's a musical that's coming out or has come out that stars Robert Shaw's son, and it's called I gotta Google this. I think The Fish is Broken is the name of it, but it's all about the making of Jaws, and the whole thing. The whole set is their boat. The shark is broken. Okay, let me. And again, it's not necessarily genre centric because it's a musical, but I saw one of the stories on it. Ian Shaw is his son, now on Broadway. Are there any pictures of it? But the set, if they have the set, casting creative. Yeah, this is Robert Shaw's son.
Oh, Ian Shaw, that's his son?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks just like him.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women. Hey.
Wow.
Yeah, that's his son who's appearing in that. Now, if we do make it big and we do have Broadway money, Cody. Yeah, so this is you got Roy Schneider, Richard.
Who's playing Roy Schneider?
I don't know. It's Colin Donnell and Alex Brandon. They're just people. Ian Shaw was the cool one, and then I'm trying to. Okay, this is what'll get us in trouble.
We'll propel you into our second hour with our very own nod to.
Damn it! Let me get there. I just want to show you guys the set, and this might take a second. Yeah, good TV right now, Bill. All right. Loading. Okay, well, basically, imagine, if you will, the set that is Jaws, the back of the boat. Jesus, I can't remember the name of the boat. Okay, this is the intro. Yeah, right when it gets to Jaws, that's where I'll skip. Okay, yeah. But yeah, that little cut back and forth. This will do the job. It's TV news. Okay, that was a piece I saw. Yeah, so a lot of it is there's the set. That's what I was going for.
Okay.
That right there. But that's the set. And a lot of it is them playing the actors, not the characters in the movie. They're playing, like Ian Shaw is playing Robert Shaw. He's not playing Captain Quinn. And it's them talking about all the stuff they had to deal with while waiting for the stupid shark to get fixed.
Okay.
But yeah, Robert Shaw, full circle. That was a deep dive. Good job. All right, next we got Beverly Randolph, who has not made a ton of movies. Cody, you remember where this is from, this scene?
Return of the Living Dead. Tar Man.
You are correct. That is the reaction when you see Tar Man,
Brains.
Beverly Randolph. You know, you're talking about things that scare us. My mom, man, as a kid, she could do something with her jaw or something that she could say brains perfectly. And it would scare them.
Then Tar Man looks at the group that's or standing on the stairs, and he says, "More brains."
Good grammar. Stuart Gordon, director, who brought us of course, the Reanimator, a lot of other.
Yep.
I have not seen the Reanimator in a minute, but that's definitely something I want to go back.
Did John Beekler have something to do? I see him there on the right.
No, I think that's Stuart. Is that Beekler? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Beekler.
that's John Beekler. Yeah,
I thought
the
it was
director of Friday 13th Part 7. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Stuart Gordon. That's John Beekler. Whoops. Alfred Hitchcock was born 2 centuries ago. August 13th,
1899.
And, you know, if you've seen his movies or haven't, I know it's like older and stuff, but there's a lot of quality to that of what he was doing. But part of it was once he became Alfred Hitchcock, he could have a crew, he could have actors, he could have those people that just knew him and worked with him. So if you look at IMDb of Hitchcock pictures, he had key grips repeating several movies, like just staying in the same spot, like everyone knowing each other, working on the film so well. And that let him do a lot of cool things, especially with birds. And that's the birthdays for this week or next week. Good job, Cody. We made it.
I want to mention something else too. I hate to hear the passing of William Friedkin. He directed The Exorcist. That's what he's best known for. He directed several other things. He also directed about the Guardian. Have you seen that, about the trees that eat the babies? I hate to hear that he passed away. He was a really good director.
Trees ate the babies?
The Guardian, yeah.
I knew the French Connection was the one I was thinking of, but yeah, he had a couple. Live and Die in L.A., Sorcerer.
He did. Look up, if you don't care, look up The Guardian. I believe it came out like 87, 88, or 89 is one.
Oh, yeah, here we go. We got
Yep, that's it. It's a scary movie.
Wait, this is 2016. Oh wait, he did a 2016 horror movie? Or is this a remake of This Isn't the One I Should Believe? No, it's okay.
But
this one in Santa Monica, Guardian Angel. These references?
Oh, let me go back to explain all the noises that were happening. This is
Welcome to the.
Sorry, I didn't mean to play your show. Okay, I lost the trailer. Can you tell we've been on like this is not a good week to wake up at 5 a.m. a bunch of times. Okay, never mind. Let's go back to it. I think I got it.
Well, I'd look at some employment agencies. I thought I'd try this one in Santa Monica, Guardian Angel.
These references?
Oh, yes. Hi.
Come in, sweetie.
There you guys go.
Hush, little baby, don't you cry.
I saw something today, Phil. It's Camille. She's some kind of monster.
She cooks, she cleans, she takes care of the baby. What else does she do?
Oh.
There's no body.
I saw her. She's
Let's get
dead.
that from Terminator.
There's no evidence that the woman you describe ever existed.
Yeah.
Really good movie.
Nah, that hit harder than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. Have you seen the new Exorcist trailer?
Yes, I love it. I think it's cool. It looks great. And my dad's a big Exorcist fan too, and I showed it to him. He said it's about time. After 50 years.
Has it? Jesus, it's been that long? Yeah, it was 72?
Set 3.
73? All right, well, if you haven't seen it, let's get to it. Hold on. I'm not going to rush. But I'm rushing. Here we go. This is The Exorcist Believer. New Exorcist movie.
Hey, be home by dinner.
I love you. Good morning, Mr. Fielding.
Morning, Catherine.
And here are your daughters, Angela and Catherine. It's about 7 hours ago, and that's the last information we have.
Catherine!
Angela?
If you can hear this, we love you. Please come home.
Hey, you found her? What are you and Catherine doing out there in those woods?
You were just walking and walking. That's all I remember.
Angela, can you tell your dad how long you were gone?
A few hours.
Baby, you've been gone 3 days.
What'd you say?
I didn't say nothing.
Thought I heard you say something.
Hey, baby. You okay?
Whatever those girls went through brought something back with them. The body and the blood of Jesus Christ.
Body in the blood? Body in the blood?
Catherine.
Body in the blood. The body in the blood. The body and the blood.
Catherine.
The body and the blood. The body and the blood.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Mommy?
No, but there are people out there who have.
You have some experience with possession.
Yes, more than I'd like.
I believe you can help get our girls back.
Exorcism is a ritual. Every culture, every religion, they all use different methods. It's going to take all of them.
Don't be scared,
We've met before.
Mother.
What did you do?
Is that Catherine's heartbeat? They're beating in sync.
God played a trick on you.
That looks terrifying.
Yeah, there's something about little kids that can. You see,
In their eyes.
crap. The HBO Lovecraft Country. Did you see that show at all on HBO?
No.
There is these two creepy ass girls in one of the episodes. It is like just I hadn't been scared in a while. Just see these but it was like two creepy little kids walking all creepily. I hope, but I also, let me rephrase. I wouldn't be surprised if this movie hits and then all of a sudden you start seeing the, I don't know, the Exorcist Body of Christ challenge.
Yeah.
What do you got to do to get the likes? Run into church covered in blood and say Body of Christ. That will be weird. And this is Danny McBride, David Gordon Green. That's the ones behind this one. Directed by David Gordon Green. This is his follow-up to Halloween Ends. Is he on the streak?
Well, a lot of people's been like they're not really looking forward to it because of Halloween Ends.
Right there.
And maybe this will redeem. Maybe this is redemption.
I try to look at it like this, right? Halloween Ends was what Halloween Ends was in all its glory. The Halloween, the first, I think it's 3 movies. The first movie and a half is excellent. It's excellent. I think the hospital scene, the evil dies tonight shit, it just goes. And then all the momentum from the back end of Halloween Kills runs right into Halloween Ends. It doesn't, because sometimes you're writing a trilogy. You have to have that letdown to build up the end, and it just kept letting down. But yeah, if you need more opinion of Halloween, I think they'll bounce back good. I think I appreciate what he did with Halloween Ends in terms of trying to tell the story, and then doing a lot of fun, interesting linking with the original Halloweens. And maybe not put Michael Myers in as much was a nice callback to Season of the Witch, but The Exorcist, the effects, the source material, I think we're gonna hit a home run here.
Yeah, I think so too. Them kids was just creepy. It goes back to what Reagan, Linda Blair looked like. It's just because if you watch these possession movies, I try to watch them, and they don't have the kind of same feel as the original Exorcist. They just have like their hair all messed up or whatever,
Yeah.
But they went back to the roots of what a possession film should be like.
I gotta figure out what happened with. We had been seeing people's names.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Now I went back to Facebook user, but then for some reason I don't know. There've been some error messages popping up, so that might be it. We'll try to figure that out for next week. Don't have anything necessarily promote. Just keep your eyes peeled. We're kind of all over the place, spinning a lot of plates, but we'll keep coming to you. We do have something worked out for August 30th. I just want to finalize that. We'll have that ahead, talking to a really good young filmmaker. And then August 23rd, we'll kind of touch back on CreepyCon some more as we're getting ready to head out that way for it. But we appreciate Jennifer Johnsey coming on, and all of you for tuning in. Thanks so much for the chats and the talks and the likes. And hey, Cody Huskins, man, congrats. 2,200 subscribers on your YouTube page. I think we looked it up, and we did the 1,000 episode when we got 1,000 subscribers. I think that was was that end of April?
Yeah.
Now we're beginning of August, and we've doubled up. So good job on that. It's Huskins Horror. This is where you're watching it right now.
Thanks everybody that's subscribed. Thank you so much. That means.
And we're going to leave you with the trailer for The Grind, and we're getting really close to announcing a release date on that one. But we will see you guys back here next week.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Frank sent you.
Hey, Frank.